I'm just about to head off to Bangkok again, the second time in 2 months. So let's just have a quick look around Hat Yai airport first. And there was a major makeover a few years ago. They made it bigger and improved the facilities here. Shops. There's a little massage shop as well somewhere. Oh, there's the massage shop over there. If you fancy a quick massage before you leave. Prices, again, about twice as expensive as Central Hat Yai. These food outlets are a bit pricey. There used to be a restaurant upstairs that sold all the standard Thai dishes, and the prices were normal. That's where I always used to eat if I wanted to eat before a flight. And last time I was here, I went up there to eat there and it had been closed. A bit unfortunate. So your only eating options are these places on the ground level. Just before the exit is where you can rent a car, and I would seriously recommend, if you want to rent a car, going with one of the big companies, Go Avis or Budget. Outside there are lots of smaller car rental places, but I'm very suspicious about their insurance arrangements, and if you do have an accident, I think it might cost you a lot of money. So personally I always go with the big companies. And up here, this little booth is doing onward journeys to Saturn and the Lipe Islands. So you can arrange all the transport to Lipe Islands. And there's taxis into Hat Yai. And this one that says taxi meter, they do actually use their meters, which I didn't think they did. But if you want a meter taxi, you have to pay 50 baht and then the price of the meter. And she tells me that into the town centre it's normally around 220 or 230. If you don't use the meter, it's a flat 250. Here is the minivan into Hat Yai. It's only 60 baht, but there's no one there at the moment. And if you want the cheapest option of all, you have to go outside and try to find a Songtel. And you can get into town that way for 20 baht. If you're not sure about Songtels, look at my recent video. One thing I forgot to mention about going to Lipe Island is there are certain times of the year when the sea is very rough and it makes boat travel difficult. And she just told me it was next month, it's August to halfway through September. And during that time, there aren't boats every day, and when the boats do leave, it's a very rough crossing. So probably not advisable to go August or September. This is where the cheap Thai restaurant used to be. Now the room is completely empty. A member of staff just told me that it closed 3 months ago. Quite sad. I've just arrived at Don Mueang Airport and on my way into Bangkok. And when you apply for a UK passport, they give you an appointment by email, set date and time. When you pick the passport up, there's no appointment. You can go anytime, well, not any time, you can go any day, but you have to pick it up between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was just a bit concerned that the flight might be delayed, or there were traffic jams in Bangkok and I wouldn't get there until after 3. So just as some contingency, I'm staying here tonight and going back tomorrow just in case I can't pick it up today. If I do pick it up today, if I'm successful, then I've got tomorrow free, and at the moment I'm not sure what I'm going to do. There was a big story in the Thai news from Don Mueang Airport last week. A woman who I think was just about to board a plane was on one of those travelators in the airport, and she tripped over her bag, got her foot stuck, and then got her leg wedged in the travelator, and they actually had to amputate her leg to get her out. It was pretty nasty. And I've just noticed in the airport that none of the travelators are in operation. They've taken them all out of service. I actually made it in plenty of time, so I've just had lunch at this Mexican place on the corner, which was pretty good. And in one of my previous videos, I talked about tipping. Where I live, it's not expected, and if you tip, then 20 baht is okay. Well, this place adds on a 10% service charge and 7% for VAT, and I've noticed this in a lot of places in Bangkok. So whatever price you see on the menu, expect to pay an extra 17% on top. This is the trendy building where I'm going to pick up my passport, and if I'd known that everything was going to go so smoothly, I could have been on a flight home tonight. But because I didn't know how it was going to go, I'm going to stay a night in Bangkok and go home tomorrow. So I've now got to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. Well, that was easy. I now have a nice new blue passport instead of a red one. So that's something now that I shouldn't have to do for another 10 years. And I've always avoided this area of Bangkok, Sukhumvit. The only reason I'm here is because I needed to do the passport, and this is where the trendy building is. I just don't like it. There's a sort of attitude here. There's no eye contact. Everyone seems to have a bit of an attitude. Everyone looks very defensive. There was a big sign in the trendy building telling people to beware of scammers. Apparently there's people offering services they're not entitled to offer and charging people money. They're just scammers, and I think there's scammers everywhere. So because of that, everyone looks very defensive, has always got their guard up and will never let that guard down. It's just a not very nice atmosphere. I certainly don't sense this kind of thing out in the provinces. Anyway, I didn't enjoy my last trip to Bangkok when I stayed around here, and the main reason was because my hotel was right in the middle of a red light district. There's prostitutes, sexpats and sex tourists everywhere, which I really didn't enjoy. So I'm staying in a different area this time. It's the Asok area, sort of Japanese part of Bangkok. I've never stayed there before, so I'm interested to see what it's like. I was going to get a motorbike taxi to the hotel, but it's not very far. The trendy building is in Soi 13 and the hotel's in 19, so I'll just walk, and the traffic is so badly jammed it's probably going to be quicker walking anyway. And the rush hour hasn't even started yet. It's going to get a lot worse than this till after 4 o'clock. Just completely jammed everywhere. I'm at Soi 19 already, so the hotel should just be up here somewhere. I haven't stayed at this one before, and for this trip I booked a hotel that is more expensive than one I would usually book. This is a bit of a response to the last trip to Bangkok. Not enjoying it, staying in the wrong area and staying at a pretty mediocre hotel. So on this trip I booked a better hotel, hoping that I might enjoy this trip a bit more. The hotel looked really good in the photos. I just hope the place itself lives up to expectations. Years ago, when we were visiting Bangkok every week or every 2 weeks or every month for my daughter to see a doctor, we stayed in the Rang Nam area near Victory Monument. It's very different, but quite pleasant. And then on one occasion my wife expressed a desire to stay on Sukhumvit, so I booked a hotel and I just didn't like it. Just too many tourists, too many Farangs, too many greedy Thais, and it really put me off the area. So I say I'm only here now because this is an area that I need to be in. And it looks like my hotel is just over there. When I started to take my daughter to the doctor without my wife, I started staying around the Khao San Road area, which is it's got a reputation for backpackers, but it's actually hello Sawadi Krab. Reception ที่ไหนครับ ด้านหน้านี่ครับ Okay,ครับ Yeah, Khao San Road, that area's still got a lot of character and I quite enjoy it. Sukhumvit is probably my least favourite area of Bangkok. Oh, this is the hotel. A slight problem at check-in. This is a pet-friendly hotel, and the only rooms available right now are on the pet floor. And I like animals, but I don't really want to go in a room that might have had a smelly dog in the past. So I'm going to wait for a room on another floor. Club. My room is finally ready. I'll give you a quick tour. Here we have a small toilet. This is a toilet and wash basin. Table could be used as a desk or a dining table. And around here is a kitchen area. Fridge, microwave, electric hob, extractor, sink. And I guess this is the door to the adjoining room. And over here is a lounge area. Sofa, chair, table, TV. And this is the bedroom. Got a good size, writing desk. Another TV, wardrobe. And the ensuite bathroom. Oh, it's got a bathtub, which is always nice. You don't get these in every Thai hotel room, but you do in the better ones, better hotels. Shower. There's also a balcony with a view of Bangkok. Yeah, very nice. One of the better hotels I've stayed in. One of the things I love about Thailand is that it caters for all budgets. If you haven't got much money, you can get cheap hotels, cheap food, cheap medical care, everything. If you have got a little bit of money, you can really go up in the world as far as luxury is concerned. Great hotels, great hospitals and great restaurants. So it really has something for everyone. I've got a small problem now in that I've done what I came to Bangkok to do, and now I've got the rest of today and all day tomorrow to do something else, but I'm not sure what that's going to be. I've been to Bangkok so many times and there's nothing I can think of that I want to do that I haven't done before. So now I'm just going to take a quick look around this area, try and find a 7-Eleven, buy a few bits for the room, and then think about tomorrow. Wherever you are in Thailand, there's never a 7-Eleven far away. There's one just over there on the corner. So I'm going to buy some drinks and snacks for my room. And one thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow is breakfast. The breakfast at the budget hotels in Thailand can be pretty bad, but at the more upmarket hotels such as this one, the breakfast is normally very good. So I have high expectations for tomorrow morning. This is something I never see at home, cars stopping to let pedestrians cross the road. There may be some really nice buildings in this area, but it's still got the standard Thai style electricity cabling. There's the back of the trendy building where I was this morning. And around here there are a lot of hotels, a lot of businesses, and quite a lot of private condominium buildings as well. Probably not cheap, but if the room is anything like my hotel room, nice places to stay. The other thing about Bangkok is the infamous traffic situation. All I seem to do these days is ferry my kids around, my wife too. Monday to Friday, taking them to school, picking them up. My daughter had a Scrabble competition all weekends. My son played football on Saturday and Sunday, so we're just always taking them somewhere or picking them up. And would I want to do that here? And it's a definite no. I could probably handle living in Bangkok as a single person, but certainly not recommended for family life. Of course, as is the case with anything in Thailand, any problem can be solved with money. This here looks to be a very exclusive condominium building. I hate to think what the price of the units are here, but if you're very rich, you can afford to buy somewhere like this. You can isolate yourself from all the madness outside, and you can employ drivers so that you don't have to drive yourself and negotiate the Bangkok traffic. Any problem in Thailand can be solved using money. Tim Hortons is a really famous chain of restaurants in Canada, and a while ago I read that the first branch had opened in Bangkok, and I've just stumbled across it accidentally, but it's closed at the moment. It's day 2 in Bangkok, and last night I just went for an Indian meal on Sukhumvit, which is pretty good. No ill effects this morning, and also had a foot massage. And most of the massage places were charging 300 baht, which is more expensive than I pay at home. At home I pay 200, but I did find a shop that was doing foot massages for 200, and it was pretty good. And at the moment I'm still not sure what I'm going to do today. I just can't decide. I want to get my hair cut. My hair's a mess, and when you get to a certain age your eyebrows start to go crazy, and there's huge tufts of hair coming out of my ears, so I want to get that done. And I've got a place in mind. It's somewhere I've been to before, but not for a very long time, but I'm not sure yet whether that will happen. I've just had a very good haircut in this little barber shop. At home it used to cost me 70 or 80 baht, now it's 100. This place is 200, but they told me that the rent for this tiny little shop is 35,000 baht a month, and by the time they've paid electricity and water it's over 40,000, so it's a lot more expensive in Bangkok. And they open at 6 in the morning so that the office workers can get a haircut before they start work. But yeah, really good haircut. Another idea I had today was just to jump on a bus like this and go wherever it takes me. So that's 2 ideas. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. Bangkok is absolutely manic. It's a real assault on the senses. Sounds, sights, smells. And as a tourist in Thailand, this is what I loved. It just made me sort of come alive, and it energized me. But after a while it tends to wear off, and it actually becomes a bit tiresome. It can't be much fun working here, especially if you need to commute. It must be very tiring. A lot of food vendors have set up stalls that weren't here last night, and there it's actually started to look like real Thailand with street food vendors. Canal. The wealth disparity in Thailand is huge, and that's especially the case in Bangkok. Walking around last night I saw some homeless people sleeping on the streets, absolutely no money. I also saw some people driving around in brand new Porsche 911, 992 models. And you have to remember that buying a car like that in Thailand is much more expensive than buying it in Europe because of very high import duties. This dealership here has got a good selection of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys. The security guards working outside just told me that this Lamborghini is 30 million baht. My house was only 6 million, so it's just a massive wealth gap. I'll say one thing about Bangkok, and that's the temperature is quite pleasant. I've just checked and it's 30 degrees Celsius at the moment, which feels quite pleasant. In Hat Yai, it always feels too hot. And if it doesn't feel too hot, that means it's raining. A few years ago, there was a cool spell and temperatures went down into the teens in Bangkok. That just never happens in Hat Yai. At the very height of the wet season, when the temperature is the coolest it gets, it never goes below 24. This is where I had a foot massage last night. It was really good. All the shops along Sukhumvit Road wanted 300 baht. This one has got a special offer on, although I'm not sure whether this special offer is permanent. And it's the same price as I pay at home, 200 baht. And the 100 baht I saved, I gave to the girl as a tip. And it was a really good, relaxing massage. This is where I had dinner last night, Bukhar's Indian restaurant. It was pretty good. A little bit pricey, as I mentioned earlier. The restaurants in Bangkok add on a 10% service charge and 7% VAT. So the actual bill is always 17% more expensive than the menu price. And what I didn't like was that they add on the service charge. You don't have any choice, you've got to pay a service charge. But then they seem to expect a tip. They look very, very disappointed when you don't leave an additional tip. And the service charge is the tip, so there's no need to add on more. This happened to me in London years ago, probably 25 years ago. I went to a little burger restaurant in the theatre district of London, and it's quite expensive. It was about £10 for a burger and fries, which was quite a lot then. And I looked at the bill and they'd included a service charge. So I thought, okay, so I paid my tip already, so I didn't leave an additional tip. Left the restaurant. Then this little girl who had been serving me come out the restaurant and started screaming at me at the top of her voice, "Wanker!" for not leaving another tip. ไปไหนครับ
Allow on the river.
Yeah.
Private boat. Allow you can see a room.
กี่บาทครับ
ตัวนี้ประมาณ 2,000
2,000
2,000 บาทวันละเวือนครับ
Yeah.
Allow on the river. วันละเวือนครับ you can see a room.
Okay.
Wat Pho. Yeah, this is
Okay. Okay, kick on, crap. Okay, crap. One of the favourite attractions for tourists in Thailand is a floating market. All the tourists want to go to a floating market. I was the same. And I went to the one at Samnern Saduak probably around 19 or 20 years ago. And I had high expectations of sort of seeing this very traditional Thai floating market with local Thais buying their weekly produce, and it was just a big tourist cliche. All I saw were boats coming the other way with tourists pointing cameras at me. It was quite a big disappointment. A few years later I went to Amphawa floating market with my wife and my daughter. This is before my son was born, and that was a lot better. So if you want to go to a floating market, my personal recommendation will be to go to Amphawa and not Samnern Saduak. Many years ago, the Therma Cafe just down these steps was a famous place in Bangkok to meet freelancing prostitutes. This is going back way before I moved to Thailand, 30 years ago or something. And I thought it had closed, but I walked past here last night and there are a load of girls outside, and I think it's still in existence. It's about 10 o'clock on the second day, and I'm getting to the point now where I've just about had enough of this Sukhumvit area. I need to get out. So I think I'm going to go back to the hotel, just relax for a little bit, check out, and then head on to a different part of Bangkok. Time to say goodbye to the Grand Mercure Bangkok Asok residence. Nice hotel. Very disappointing breakfast this morning. And I'm really pleased to be getting out of Sukhumvit. Really do not enjoy this area. So we'll try to go somewhere a bit more interesting. And I have a place in mind. Haven't been there for a long time. It's an interesting place. And the easiest and most boring way to get there is just to jump in a taxi. I've just had a chat with the guy on reception about different options, different transport options to get there, and he suggested something that I haven't done for quite a long time, so I'm going to give that a try. I'm just about to take a river taxi, or more correctly a canal taxi. In the past, before roads, this is how Thais got around. And the guy at the hotel did warn me it didn't smell too good, and he's absolutely correct. There's a foul stench coming off this water. It certainly won't be a good place to take a swim. And I've just been told that you pay on board, so I'm just about to board the boat. Ah.
Agoda.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's the wrong boat apparently. That boat isn't for me. I've got to go to the front of the pier to get my boat. The guy working here told me that my boat will be in about another 5 minutes, and the journey time is about 20 minutes. The fare is 20 baht. And something else I was warned about was getting splashed. And it's not purely to prevent you from getting wet. There's some pretty nasty stuff in this water. A few years ago, there was a Thai pop singer drove his car into a canal, as you do, and he contracted a really nasty fungus that made his brain swell, and I think he died in the end. But yeah, some pretty nasty stuff in this water. The pier is just on one side of the canal, so boats going the other way also stop on this side. And the guy working here does speak some English. I guess he has contact with tourists. I've been speaking Thai to him, but he always replies in English. So if you want to get one of these taxis, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've got a little map. So you are here, we are here. Tarua Asok. And our number in English is E5. In Thai it's O5. And we're going to Tarua Panfalilat, which is W4 in English or Do 4 in Thai. I think this is my boat. I just asked the guy if there are any fish in the canal, and he said no. I don't think any living organism could live in this apart from bacteria and fungus. It looks filthy and the stench is foul. And if you went in, I think you'd be quite seriously ill or even worse. Let's get on the boat. Quite a few people. Put the camera away and hang on for dear life. Some people have just got off, so I've got a seat now, and the guy told me 20 baht, well, I handed over 20 baht and got 5 baht change, so only 15 baht. And the driver drives the same way as any other driver of any vehicle in Thailand. I wondered why everyone was getting off apart from me, and apparently we need to change boats here. These boats create quite a wake, but they've got plastic curtains on the side to act as splash guards, and so far no water is coming to the boat. The stench coming off this canal is absolutely terrible. I haven't done that for a few years, but it was quite good fun. On the way, we passed the Jim Thompson house. Jim Thompson was an American who was responsible for revitalising the Thai silk industry. And his death is still a mystery. He went into the jungle one day and never came back. Has never been found. Anyway, I just needed to do something today that was a bit more adventurous. Just walking around the Sukhumvit area was driving me crazy with boredom. Where I want to go is on the other side of the river, so what I want to do now is get to the pier where I can get a 3 baht river crossing, and I've been told it's too far to walk, so I need a tuk-tuk or a motorbike. The only thing I'm wary about is that these tuk-tuks just waiting around here look as if they're waiting for tourists to rip off. So I don't want to be ripped off, so I'm going to try and find someone who's not going to rip me off. I just talked to a tuk-tuk driver in Thai, and the pier I want is called Moon Pier, Ta Prajan, and he says it's about 2 kilometres away. And first of all he wanted 120 baht, and then he dropped it to 100, but I think I can do a bit better than that. So let's see if I can find a motorbike taxi. This motorbike taxi only wanted 50 baht, half the price of the taxi to take me to the pier. It can be quite nerve-wracking riding on these things, but it can also be quite good fun. Also, we're coming up to the Democracy Monument. Some people have accused me of being stingy. I'm not really stingy, I just don't like being ripped off. I just want to pay the standard Thai price for things and not the tourist price. Democracy Monument. The bikes are quicker as well because they don't get stuck in traffic, they just able to weave through the traffic. And he's just told me that he works 12 hours a day, which in this heat, and especially in the rainy season when it's raining heavily, must be really, really tiring. I think this is Dusit, the royal area of Bangkok, probably the most attractive area in Bangkok. We just passed the National Museum, and the Grand Palace is nearby, and several other important buildings and temples. And I also believe that Thammasat University is just over there, and just down here is the pier. And so far it's cost me 15 baht on the river taxi and 50 baht for the motorbike taxi, 65 baht, and I think to get across the river it's 3 baht, so we saved quite a lot of money. The weather has started to change. It was quite cool this morning. It's now got quite hot, but it's also getting cloudy as if it might rain. It's quite humid, and the heat, humidity and the traffic pollution makes me feel thirsty all the time, so I think I'll grab a drink.
สวัสดีครับ
น้ำส้มครับหนึ่งขวดครับ กี่บาทครับ
30 บาทครับ
30 ครับ Fresh orange juice. The lady told me she makes the orange juice herself. It's very good. Lots of orange pulp in there. And the orange juice in Thailand has a slightly salty taste. It sounds strange, but it tastes really good. Another thing I like about Thailand are these ladies on the street with sewing machines. So if you've got some clothes you want to get repaired, it's so easy. And they're quite talented, so they'll repair anything for not many baht. Yeah, this area is far more interesting than the one I've been staying in the last day. No pussycat. A sleeping cat. มันชื่ออะไรครับ
Panda
Panda โอ้ขาวดำ
ขาวด
ขาวดำ Hello Panda
ำ
Panda. Yeah, the last trip and this trip so far I've really not enjoyed, and I think it's all down to being in an area that I don't like. And once I get out of that area, get into a more interesting area like this one, I start to feel alive again and I start to enjoy Bangkok again. I was told the river crossing was 3 baht. It's actually 4.5 baht, but she gave me a special Falang price of 5 baht. Well, ไปบ้านใช่ไหมครับ ไปบ้านใช่ไหม ไม่ พร้อมไปโรงพยาบาลสิริราช Okay. Okay. Earlier in the video, I talked about the attitude I sensed around Sukhumvit, where everyone was very defensive, no eye contact, no one speaks to each other. Once you get away from that area, everything changes. The smiles come back, people are more friendly. I'm actually going to a hospital in Bangkok, a very old royal hospital. And on the boat are a couple of the staff from the hospital. They've just been chatting, very friendly. It's just entirely different to the atmosphere you get in the tourist areas such as Sukhumvit. This is Siri Rat Hospital in Bangkok. It was the first hospital, or first modern hospital in Bangkok, and probably the first in Thailand. It's a very important hospital. It's a royal hospital, lots of royal patronage, and this is where members of the royal family come when they have a medical problem. And why am I at a hospital? And the reason is that there's a very interesting museum here. I came years ago, long time ago, and I've been wanting to come back for quite a long time, not got around to it, and having the whole of today free and not really knowing what to do, it seemed quite a good opportunity to come back. So I've just got, I can't remember anything from my last visit, so I'm now just trying to find the location of the museum, and hopefully they'll allow me to film inside. I just wanted to explain something, and some old boy has come up to me and told me not to take any video. It doesn't work here. He just says I can't take video. Well, that wasn't very successful. There's a little market just opposite the hospital, so I'll wander around the market and explain what happened. I went in and got told off for taking a video of that sign. I then found the museum, and the museum is closed every Tuesday on bank holiday. So I'll have to visit the next time I'm in Bangkok. I spoke to the curator of the museum, and he told me that no photography or video is allowed inside the museum. It's a really interesting place. So I went years ago, and I've always wanted to go back. It's quite macabre. They've got a lot of sort of preserved fetuses and things, and lots of strange things that you see in embalming fluid in glass boxes that you wouldn't see in any other museum. And years ago, there was a famous serial killer and cannibal in Thailand. He was a Chinese immigrant called Si Ui. And when I came last time, they actually had Si Ui. They'd embalmed him and put him in a glass cage. He was on display. But 3 years ago, they took him out of the glass cage and gave him a proper burial, which I guess was only the right thing to do. Maybe he wasn't quite as bad as people made him out to be. So not very successful. The one good thing today is that I've realised that I still like Bangkok. The mistake I made on my last visit was to sort of equate the whole of Bangkok with Sukhumvit. It's really Sukhumvit that I've got a problem with. So you may wonder, you know, if I've got that problem, why did I stay in Sukhumvit? It was a mistake. I stayed there because I thought it would be convenient, because I had to go to the trendy building in Sukhumvit, but I could quite easily have stayed somewhere else and just travelled there to pick up my passport. So I definitely won't be staying in Sukhumvit again. This is what I love about Thailand, these old traditional teak buildings, and Thais just going about life the way that they've always gone about life. And I just find it quite depressing around Sukhumvit with all those concrete skyscrapers and the loss of the traditional way of life. You know, if you were just sort of plonked there without knowing where you were, you really wouldn't know you're in Thailand. But when you're at places like this, you know you're in Thailand. When I first came to Bangkok, everything was like this. Everything was old and traditional, and because it was my first visit, everything was new and exciting. But that first visit can never be replicated, and there's two reasons for that. The first, that Bangkok just becomes more modern every year, more westernized. And secondly, the longer I live here, the more familiar I become with the country. So that feeling of everything being new and exciting and exotic goes. It never comes back. The museum being closed was quite disappointing, but that was a really enjoyable little trip to the other side of the river. Around that little market, there's some good places to eat, and there's quite a few little massage shops. Very quiet, cheap, not many customers, and not as pushy as the ones around Sukhumvit. So today has been great, and things started to improve immediately after I left the Sukhumvit area. So I'm now heading back to the other side of the river. I'm going to get something to eat and then think about getting back to the airport to fly home. I'm near the Grand Palace now. This is an area with a lot of tourists, and Thais keep pouncing on me. I guess this GoPro makes me look like a tourist. I've just eaten at a place over the road, yellow building. Food was pretty good and very cheap. Not what you expect in an area with so many tourists, but pretty good. And I've just got some bad news from Nok Air. The original flight back was 6:30. They changed it to 7:05, a 35-minute delay. It wasn't too bad. They've just sent me another message. They've delayed it further to 8:20. So I'm not very happy about that. It means I'm going to get home now about 10 o'clock. There's now a tunnel leading to the Grand Palace, so you don't have to cross the road. There's escalators going up and down, and it's beautifully decorated. It really is a work of art. Old photos. And I've just been told there's a toilet in here somewhere, which is what I'm looking for. I walked through once already and didn't find it. I'm going back to have another look. It's a really beautiful little tunnel. Hello, Sawasdee krab. Rian Chan Nai krab. Rian Chan Nai krab. Mo Song. Yes. Okay, Choki krab. Bye bye. Yeah, I think this tunnel was here when I last came. Someone told me it was done during COVID, but I didn't see it. I must have approached the Grand Palace from the other direction. It's now started raining. It's only light rain, but it's still fairly unpleasant. And this flight delay, this second flight delay, has now given me a bit of a problem. My original plan was to get a taxi to the airport in about an hour, but now the flight is about 2 hours later than the original flight I booked. So if I go to the airport now, I'm just going to be hanging around there for a long time, which I don't really want. I'm not sure what to do, because I'll just stay in this area and look around. I've got some time to waste in rainy Bangkok, so I thought I'd take a walk up to Wat Pho temple. It's famous for a couple of things. There's a very large reclining Buddha with very ornately decorated feet. And the other thing it's famous for, it's the home of Thai massage. The serious kind of Thai massage, which is a specialised subject that needs to be studied for many years. Not the kind of thing that you're going to get in a massage shop in one of the tourist centres. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get in though, because today I'm wearing shorts, and certainly the Grand Palace and probably this temple, they don't allow people in with shorts. You need to be respectfully dressed. Anyway, let's see what happens. On days like this, you lose some and you win some. I've just had another victory. As I walked into Wat Pho, there's a sign saying this way for Thais only. and it's written Thai people free, and like, you know, Farungas go the other way and they've got to pay 200. So I talked to the girl in the ticket office and said, you know, I live here all the time and I've got an ID card. So she said, let me have a look. So she said, yeah, you can use it. So I got in free, which is a big result. Thais doing their Wat Pho thing, paying their respects to the Buddha. These look very Chinese. And the shorts weren't a problem either. You can wear shorts in here. Yeah, very attractive grounds. It's another nice place to visit. Not quite as attractive as the Grand Palace, but it's still very, very nice. I'm going to turn the camera off and I'm going to look for the reclining Buddha. This is a big place and quite a confusing place to get around. There's not many signs and not many people to ask. So far I haven't had a problem with the video camera, but my luck might run out soon, and it could be in the hall of the reclining Buddha. The Grand Palace is okay, except you can't take photos of the Emerald Buddha. That's the most sacred Buddha in Thailand. And I also ran into problems taking videos of the soldiers on guard there. They didn't like that. And this is where the reclining Buddha is. So we'll just see if we can take the camera in. Just had a quick chat with the security guard, and shorts and video cameras are okay. So we're all set to go. There's no shoes, but they give you a little bag to put your shoes in. And I just heard a guide warning some tourists to beware of pickpockets in here. It's not very nice, is it? Pickpockets coming to one of Thailand's most sacred temples and stealing from tourists. It's really not good. This is the head end, and the really famous part is the other end at the feet. The decorations on the soles of the feet. The Buddha image is huge. Some renovation work going on. Excuse me. Here are the famous feet. Palm jump, don't touch. Oh yeah. Very, very ornate, lots of detail. One of Bangkok's most famous sites. Well, I didn't get pickpocketed as far as I know, and my wife will be very upset if I came to a place like this and didn't donate. So I'm going to make some merit, Tumbun, and now she'll be happy. On my first visit to Bangkok, I came here for a massage because this is the home of massage. God, did it hurt. It was really hard, and I don't like a hard massage, you know, I like a more relaxing massage. And what I'd like to try and find today, if I can, are the sort of original instructions about Thai massage. When the Burmese invaded Ayutthaya in 1767, that was the old Thai capital, they attempted to destroy everything, absolutely everything. So the Thais preserved what they could and then brought what they'd retained to the new capital in Bangkok, and included was the original instructions for massage. I think they're written on stone tablets. I've never actually seen them before, so I want to try and find those today. This is the traditional massage centre, and when you go in, the practitioners are all dressed just like doctors. And there's a serious difference between real Thai massage and what you get in the tourist massage shops. You know, the girls there, they get minimum training, just a few days maybe. And it's quite a pleasant experience, but it's not the real thing. And if you want the real thing, you need to go to somewhere where people have been trained properly. Anyway, I've just been in to explain what I want to see, and she tells me that within the grounds here, there's actually a massage museum, Pipitapan Nuat. So I'm just off to try and find that now. I found the museum. It wasn't quite what I expected, but the girl has just told me that there's another part of the museum. So traditional Thai medicine has three strands. There's massage, meditation, and herbal medicine. And this part here describes herbal medicine. So it's just some examples of herbs they use and information. And the bit I was interested in was about massage, and I think that's in another building. Just some information about the history of Thai massage. This is what I was looking for. So this book here, which is written in a script that's quite difficult to read, it's printed in 1913. They don't know when the original copy was made. And here is one of the stone tablets. This is the 45th tablet, and it explains things like the energy lines, Sen Sip, the 10 main energy lines. So if this is the 45th one, I don't know where the others are. Perhaps they're not on public display. Looks like pictures of the tablets here. And another very old book. Oh yeah. Pictures of the body and musculoskeletal system. Yep, this is what I was looking for. Oh, and here are pictures of the tablets. I'm not sure where the originals are. They don't seem to be on display. But these are the origins of traditional Thai massage. I've got a new friend, a Siamese cat in Siam. There's quite a few cats running around here. It's now raining heavier. My flight is 20 past 8, and I don't like leaving things till last minute. I like to get to the airport a couple of hours ahead. It's now after 4, and I suspect at this time of day Bangkok's roads are going to be gridlocked. So I think I'm going to start heading back now and go to try and find a taxi to get me to the airport. My last trip to Bangkok was terrible. This trip didn't start off too well, but it's ended up okay. I quite enjoyed today. I really like this area, this Dusit area. Not only are there a lot of beautiful buildings and interesting places, I think there's also a height restriction on buildings, so you don't get all the ugly concrete skyscrapers that make you feel closed in. I find that quite oppressive. Around Sukhumvit area, and when I go to Singapore, I just don't like places with lots and lots of high buildings, but this place is really great. So we're on the way to the airport. The driver tells me there's a lot of traffic, but there aren't jams yet. So I've got plenty of time, and I'm quite looking forward to getting home. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this and found a few things useful. If you've got any comments, questions or other feedback, please leave them below, and more videos soon.